You took your lust and your sin and put it there. Then you took God and put him here, and you just preferred your lust and your sin. He's saying homosexuality, it's you doing this. This is God and this is your sin. You are not just saying, I want to have this preference. It's, I want this passing God up completely. Never even considering God. So when he's saying, when you're choosing God, I'm the creation over the creator, it's not the preference of the idol, but it's literally passing God over completely. No consideration because of the idol. So my lust allows me to see God, see my sin, not prefer one over the other, just take this one and never consider God to begin with. That's what homosexual lifestyle does. It's saying, I won't even consider God. That's why we say, I was born this way. Why? I don't want to consider the Genesis account of God created me. Why? If there is a creator, I am now bound by the laws as being creation. And now I'm subject to his laws versus the one making the laws. So I can never consider God in my thinking and then be a homosexual and live in peace. I must reject God in my thinking. And in rejecting God, I reject his laws. Therefore, I can live with a free conscience, saying I'm doing exactly what I was born to do. Does that make more sense? The problem is that a person that is homosexual, you must, and this is the key, you must ignore all natural biology to come to your conclusion. All of it. You must literally disagree with every scientist in human history of X's and Y's in your DNA. So it means every notable scientist is completely wrong. It also means by design, now mind you, besides the hermaphrodite, we'll get there in a second, every male body has to be wrong in design. Every female body has to be wrong by design. Why? Because the male body and the female body by natural design fits. This is the key. The only, and it's going to sound gross, but it's the only way I can explain it. The only way the male body fits with the male body is to enter in a place of waste.
Yes.
But in its natural element, it enters a place that can reproduce life itself. So how is it that a man with a woman produces life when they come together, but a man can only enter a man where death comes out? Because biology tells you you were never created to combine yourself intimately. So every time man sleeps with man, they're reminding themselves through genetics, through nature, that death is the only thing waiting for you in front of an intimate God. Death awaits. Why? You can only enter intimacy with your sin through death. But through a woman, you can literally reproduce life. So even on the natural scientific side, let's go further. If every man chose to love themselves more than God, literally the human race would go extinct in 100 years. So even our biology says, if everybody believed the way you did, there would be no human race. How is that, watch this, in line with the Genesis account, be fruitful and multiply?
Oh, come on, Pastor.
Eat.
The origin of creation determines how the pattern should look.
Yes.
So if every man became gay, then God has to be wrong. Because we'll say, God, we can't fulfill that. Because the people we're going to enter can never reproduce. So either God is a lie or man is a lie. be fruitful and multiply can only come from one context, man and woman. There's a transgender, he's a man dressed as a woman, surgeries and everything, and they want to have a baby. So they did in vitro, and they put the egg inside of the woman that makes naturally woman, dressed like a man, put the baby in this one because it was a natural woman at first. She or he carried the baby. Then the other woman, who's the man, knowing I can't carry the baby, but I'm the man though. That makes sense? I'm the guy, dressed as a guy, I'm a woman. Get it? Yeah. So I can't carry it, so you as the lady, you gotta carry it. But you're the guy right now. You see how confused that is? You're a guy, you can't have babies, but you're dressed as the woman. So you should be carrying a baby, but you can't. But I was the woman dressed as a guy, so I'm gonna carry it, but yet you're the woman. Why? Because nature, it doesn't make sense. Then we tell them a child should be able to choose their sexual preference. No, you're allowing a child to choose their propensity when their brains aren't even fully developed.
Amen. Help somebody.
You're allowing them to pull, not nature, nurture.
That's right.
Nature is your design by God, tainted with sin until salvation. But nurture suggests things. Then you allow a 6-year-old to say, I'm a boy. You ain't no boy. For example, I gotta stop. If we really believe this, what we should do is we should allow men to fight in the females UFC. We should allow men to run in all the female Olympics, be in female wrestling Olympics, be in female boxing. Do you know women will die? You will lose your life against some of these men. Can you imagine Deontay Wilder fighting a female? Are you serious? Can you imagine Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, George Foreman? Can you imagine them fighting women? Can you imagine Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Shaquille O'Neal, Charles Barkley? We can go on. Being in the WNBA, we're acting like there are not differences by design.
Come on,
Yes, yes, yes.
I'm not implying men are better. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is genetically.
Yes, yes, yes.
There are things in us that are different than women.
Yes.
Are you with me?
Yes.
Testosterone in men is a whole different monster than as it relates to women and their makeup. So you have some women that can outdo men. That is the selected few.
Right.
That's not the norm.
Right.
That is a woman at the height of womanhood, at the best you with me?
Yeah.
You like that woman beating the lowest guys.
There you go.
Not because you're less than, but because your physical makeup is different.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Can you imagine a female playing in the NFL? Not a kicker.
Yeah.
On the line, as a running back, she'd be dead in a week. Why? Because men die on that field.
Yes.
And these men are built like tanks, and they still getting concussions, PTSD, and they're out here killing themselves from brain damage because they're getting hit like buses.
Right.
I'm not letting them hit me like that. I know punk, but I'm not getting out there with them boys. Why? They built for that.
Right.
What am I saying? I'm saying there is a natural creation.
Right.
A natural order. There's a natural makeup that separates women from men.
Yes.
My wife has a much different touch than I do. I am really I'm a very loving person, but when it comes to order, I'm like this. She's more like, why? Because we're made different. But your children need both. They need the soft touch and order. They need comfort and discipline. And when you come together, you guys add both unique ways of bringing nurture to the propensities of sin that live in kids under your tutelage. So what happens? God allows you guys, watch this, to gently choke out the
Come on
sins
now.
while they're young.
Yes.
That way when they're old, the sins don't choke them out.
Amen.
But if we hate God, we teach our kids to hate him as well. Not by saying I hate him, by grabbing things that dishonor him. Living in ways that dishonor him and calling them holy when God called them unholy. Amen? We got to stop there. Let's give God a hand clap this morning. We'll cover a lot more next week. We have a long way to go, but we'll get through the whole thing next week. Father, I thank you for our time together. I pray that you will help us to really unearth this discussion, to be able to see your truth, to see your love in it. Because so many people are affected by it. And we want to glorify you and allow people to see your truth and come into a love relationship with you. We give you all the praise for it. If you're here today and say, you know what, I don't know God, or I'm not